The pinnacle of women's rugby league coming to you from Canberra Stadium. The New Zealand Ferns up against the Australian Jillaroos. It's great to have your company wherever you're watching us as these two great rivals prepare to face off in the latest edition of this Trans-Tasman rivalry. There's the New Zealand team. They have won 3 World Cups, and they are led so well at the back by the 3-time New Zealand Player of the Year, Serena Fisso, Lanu Vainu and Atawai Tupea on the wing, Wiley and Molia Fraser in the centres. The halves, Hale and Cook, 2 very creative players, Alexandra Cook on debut, and up front they lack no aggression. Fotu Moala in jumper 12, a player to watch for the New Zealand team. It was physically very intimidating when the Jillaroos went down to the Ferns last year in Newcastle. So New Zealand await the Jillaroos, who are being led out by Ruan Sims, 35 years of age, one of 5 Australian players who featured in the 2013 World Cup victory. The Jillaroos, of course, the reigning World Cup champions. And they are a very formidable team with a great blend of experience and youth, but they've had a very unfortunate omission at the back with Sam Bremner ruled out. Karina Brown has gone to fullback. Isabel Kelly in 19 will make her debut for the Jillaroos on the wing. 2 rookie halves as well in 6, Zahara Tamara, and in 7, Simone Smith. And the forward pack led by Ruan Sims and Heather Ballinger up front. So there is Ruan Sims. Renee Kuntz next to her, who has been a veteran of this Jillaroos side. We take you now to the national anthems.
For our official proceedings. Tonight, the New Zealand national anthem will be sung by musician Tony Maxfield, followed by the Australian national anthem to be performed by musician Rachel Shield from the band of the Royal Military College.
Goodbye, sea, our land above.
So, stirring renditions of both the Australian and New Zealand national anthem. Darren Lockyer joins me in commentary alongside former Jillaroo Joe Barrett. Nice to have you with us again, Joe.
Thanks for having me along, Matt.
Great pleasure. And Darren, always wonderful to hear the Australian New Zealand national anthems before an occasion like this.
Yeah, this is my third ANZAC test, the women, and the last two were entertaining to say the least. Very physical and plenty of skill. This one shouldn't be any different.
So the haka coming up. Now viewers joining us in New Zealand will have particular affection for that. Joe, Serena Fisso there in number 1 was so great in the 26-16 win for New Zealand last year against the Australians, and she's captain again this evening.
She sure is, Matt, and she's had a tremendous history in the game and is a real stalwart of the New Zealand Kiwi Ferns, so I'm looking forward to the influence she's going to have on her team tonight.
Yes, always spine-tingling, isn't it? The haka, whether it's the men or the women, always sets the scene for what is one of the great rivalries in sport, the Trans-Tasman rivals. It is the ANZAC test, of course. Two nations that have shared so much history, but rivals on the field here in Canberra this evening.
Potentially the last ANZAC test too. Yeah, so I'm sure both nations will want to, if it's going to be the last, they want to win it.
We will not let that jersey down. We will not let the person next to us down. Fire up! Just fucking
Yes, Ruan Sims there. She's such an inspired leader, and you can hear the final instructions to the Jillaroos team. They managed victory at the Auckland Nines earlier in the year, which was a first for the Jillaroos, but they're looking to rebound after their loss in the 2016 Test match in Newcastle. The last 4 games between the nations are split at 2 apiece. So while New Zealand dominated the early exchanges, Australia has certainly levelled things over recent encounters. It's the 20th time these two nations will meet in women's rugby league test matches. They first met way back in 1995 at Sydney's Lidcombe Oval.
Stay inside here. Stay inside.
So women's rugby league now takes centre stage, the Jillaroos versus the New Zealand Ferns, and it is the Australian team that start things off. The catch taken by the New Zealand captain, Serena Fisso, and already the Australians serving it up. Ruan Sims with a big early shot, along with Taufa, the 13. Ball's on the ground, and New Zealand, they regather possession. That's the debutante halfback, Alexandra Cook, taken by another first gamer for Australia. The player in jumper number 6, Zahara Tamara. The ball's come back though, and New Zealand play on. They make their way just beyond the 30. Former Australian Kangaroos captain Darren Lockyer with me, along with former Jillaroo Joe Barrett, to bring you this clash as Fisso has a wonderful record in international rugby league. The 3 times New Zealand Player of the Year. She scored 2 tries in this corresponding game last year. One of 5 first gamers for New Zealand with the ball now. Bunty Kurawaka Crow. And the first kick is charged down. The ball was played at, though, by the Jillaroos, and it's bounced back for Serena Fisso. And she has a full set of 6 tackles now to work with. New Zealand over the halfway for the first time in this encounter. And Kurawaka Crow away now to Fortu Moala, who was the defensive enforcer for the New Zealand team against the Jillaroos last year with some bone-jarring tackles. Taufa heavily involved defensively for the opening couple of minutes. Out from dummy half comes Crystal Rota, wrapped up by Ruan Sims and Heather Ballinger. So they're 25 out now, the Kiwi Ferns. It's with Hale, now it's with Fisso. Good pass away to Tupaia, who's taken over the sideline. Some good scrambling defence there by Corbin McGregor for the Jillaroos.
Yeah, it's good football from both teams. The Jillaroos had to defend a repeat set. They got a couple of offloads in that first set of 6, the Ferns, and then a movement out to the left here on the last tackle. It's good defence, but equally good attack by the Ferns.
Really good to see Chelsea Baker working with her winger to come across and slide defence, because you could see Corbin McGregor there clean that up, and in her game last year she was out in the first few minutes of a game, so it's a great comeback by Corbin.
So the kick finds the line, 10 short of the halfway. Then McGregor will restart play for the Jillaroos. Away to Tamara, and now Taufa. Stop 5 short of the halfway line. Into dummy half. The number 9, Britley Brayley, is a very exciting ball player, one to watch for the Australian team. Now Brander goes inside the Kiwi half.
Great to see, she's better known as Britley Brayley out there. There was a bit of a concern in the trial match on the weekend in the Jillaroos camp. She came off injured, but she plays such a pivotal role for the Jillaroos.
It's too long.
So it's good to see her out there tonight. She looks like there's no problems there with her injury.
So back-to-back penalties for the Australian team. And the number 6, Zahara Tamara. Great story, the 19-year-old who was born in Rotorua in New Zealand and dreamt of representing New Zealand. Moved to the Gold Coast as a 12-year-old, and from then on has been a dedicated Australian follower. Plays a first game for the Jillaroos tonight. Debutante number 6, debutante number 7 as well for the Australians in Simone Smith. Here's Tamara, out to Smith. Was player of the match in the Ladies All-Stars game earlier this year. Plays it now to Brayley. And within 4 of the line now, the Jillaroos on the back of those couple of penalties have worked their way right up New Zealand's end. Here's Smith, shows and goes, balls come out backwards. Forward, said the referee, so the first chance thwarted there from the Australian side.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good formation on both sides of the rucks from the Jillaroos. I think if Smith had got through then, they might have pulled it back for a Shepherd. You see here, she runs in behind Tufua. She spills the ball anyway, but they're, what I like about the Jillaroos in attack at the moment is just their width, just spreading the Kiwis' defence apart.
Oh, here's a mistake. Well, that is uncharacteristic. Serena Fisso has put her team under all sorts of pressure, Joe.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that, Matt. That's highly unlikely. She will be disappointed, but if anyone can compose themselves and get the Kiwis back in line, I'm sure it's her. So it'll be interesting to see what the Jillaroos can do with this field position.
So the Ferns have put themselves under pressure, conceding back-to-back penalties. Now a mistake, and it's the Jillaroos through Taufa with a strong run. Only 4 out. Plenty of goal jumpers both left and right. They come to the right-hand side. Tamara inside. Ruan Sims running onto it. Was tackled strongly front on there. by Kurawaka Crow. Tamara's been in everything. Smith, short pass away. They're over, are they? Just short. Desperate defence on Renee Kunst. A metre out from the line. Away to Tamara. Spears the pass. It's with Caitlin Moran now. Playing her second test for the Jillaroos. Away from Brayley. Smith bounces away, keeps going, stays alive, shows it to the right-hand side, still only 4 metres out. The Ferns defending their line with great determination. Here's Tamara, she'll want the in goal, she's found the in goal, and another set of 6 coming the way of the Jillaroos. Gee, these young halves, Darren, Tamara and Smith are controlling things beautifully.
Yeah, building pressure. Kiwis dropped the ball off the scrum, but the Jillaroos have done well to get a repeat set. And give the Kiwis a rap for their defence as well. A couple of times there, the Jillaroos went close, but there, that's a lovely kick. It's not easy to do at times on the last tackle to thread the ball through, but she did on that occasion.
Handy drop out, it's travelled the best part of 40 metres. Karina Brown, the player that fields the kick. Oh, and Ballinger gets absolutely crunched by Mau Mau. Now Moran running strongly. Lilietta Mau Mau with the tackle of the game so far, but don't worry, there'll be a few more of those to come. There's another, the same 2 players coming together. The veteran front rower Heather Ballinger on the receiving end. Now Taufar charging towards the line. Brittany Brayley trying to push her closer. She's there at dummy half. She sends it away to Smith. And good footwork there, Tamara, the 19-year-old, number 6. Looks like she was born in the Jillaroos jumper throughout the first 8 minutes.
Good.
Smith tries to kick, bounces off legs, and the Ferns have survived.
Tremendous pressure by the Jillaroos. What I really like about this half combination, they're on debut. They've never played together, really. And they're both taking it to the line, which is so good so early in the game.
The tenacious defence there by Isabel Kelly for the Australians. New Zealand, they need a strong run. They found one there. Crystal Tamarua.
It's great to see Isabel Kelly out there. She got the call up late after an injury, an unexpected injury actually, to Samantha Bremner. So she performed well in the All-Stars earlier in the year, and she's certainly making the most of her opportunity to play for the Jillaroos.
Now they've got to hurry a kick away, New Zealand. They've got nowhere on that set of 6, and the kick doesn't even reach the halfway line. Here comes Kelly and straight through them. Isabel Kelly in her opening game for the Jillaroos has scored under the posts, and what a start for the Aussies.
Well, I was just about to give the Kiwis defence a rap, but this is just fatigue. I know it's only early, but kick that didn't really go where it should have, and then Kelly just straight over the top of Cook. And Fizo, who usually plays up in the line, the last tackle, she wasn't back there to cover, and well done, Isabel Kelly.
What a fantastic start. I was just saying she's on debut, and it's really promising in the World Cup year that somebody who was called into the Jillaroos squad and just has added to the depth, and here we are, and she's over the line, and I think there's big things ahead for Isabel and her future in rugby league.
Well, what a way to mark your first appearance in national colours with the first try of the test to Isabel Kelly.
We got that on the back of pressure that we put on them.
As Joe correctly pointed out, the Aussies lost Sam Bremner because of a freakish training accident yesterday.
It's a pre-recorded cross.
She slipped over and knocked her head on the ground and suffered concussion, which keeps
He's
her
got
out.
Joey with him.
Isabel
Hopefully
Kelly
he'll answer my
maiden
question or he'll go,
Jillaroos
so who's favourite? He'll go, yeah, thanks, Steve. It's beautiful out here. Now to your question. He's hopeless. He really is. He's just hopeless.
She was named on
She's
that.
a pretty thing.
That's the one, what's her name? The one that's...
No, it's about Kelly's. She's all right.
Oh, I thought you were talking about her.
Is that Kizzy or what?
She's not
That's the
pretty.
Kezia at...
She's the Daily Air, mate.
Yeah.
So there's a
That's
smiling
the
she's a
Sam
back
Bremner
rower.
on the
Yeah.
sidelines,
Shit,
and
it
Greg
doesn't look
Inglis
too
there
much.
in the
She's probably
bottom
bigger.
right-hand corner of the screen.
probably
as well,
bigger than-
Joe. So there's some high-powered
She's probably
influence
strong.
there in the Jillaroos camp tonight.
probably built.
GIO's been a great supporter of Women's Rugby League. He was there to see us off at the 2013 World
Run,
Cup.
Sims!
He's been a
Good
huge
run.
supporter of the Indigenous Women's All-Stars team. So it's actually not surprising, but certainly inspirational to have
the mark
his
is
statue
coming.
on the sidelines for the girls.
Yes, I know Matt Scott has spent some time with the Australian ladies during the week also, providing some more words of wisdom, no doubt.
There's a jukebox.
The Aussies have jumped out to a good start here.
He ran it into the wrong girl.
Australian Rugby League Commission Chairman as well, John Grant.
And the tea's still on the field.
She lost that. Unlucky.
Although
She bumped her off too.
She went into that tackle quite dangerously though. That's the Christchurch girl.
Shut up,
Just looking to get
That's that little girl. This how the debutant got her, eh? Look, just bang, got her in low.
Look, she got her.
Pushed her off.
Kurrawaka Crow.
That's terrible.
He
went in with a bent
With her
back.
head.
She went in with the bent back and everything.
She could have done her neckle. Knocked herself
That's
out.
cool.
But
Crikey.
Get an opportunity.
As Tasha said, their eyebrows, their eyelashes.
They've all had their eyelashes done on fleek.
Now play Inu.
So what time's kick-off, 10?
Tackled by Brown.
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
The skipper again gets up to the 40. She does everything, doesn't she?
Too slow.
Here's Crystal Rota out of dummy half.
Their attack is a mess.
By Talfa and Ballinger. Now Mariu gets the pass away to Karina Wiley, playing her first game for the Ferns this evening. Tamarua taken by Talfa and also Brayley. Here's the last for the Ferns. Little set play here, and it comes out the back to Fisso through the hands. Here's a chance here for New Zealand. Oh, the Aussie defence again scrambles on that right-hand side of the field, and they've shut the Kiwi Ferns down just short.
Fantastic to see the halfback in there. You wouldn't think she's on debut, and I'm looking forward to see how the Jillaroos get out of this one as the girls start to get thrown.
Oh, crunching defence from Foto Moala. We flagged that. She loves the heavy contact, and she was right in it there.
Yeah, that won't be the last one. Look at this. She's got no fear. Just leads with the shoulder. That won't be the last tick she pulls off tonight.
3 gone here for the Australians. Here's Ruan Sims. They're rushing off the line, trying to limit Ruan's influence with the ball. Still on the 30-metre line, the Jillaroos. Smith turns it underneath, and Renee Kunst. Well, she's been injured.
Tackle 5, number 11.
She's lost a shoe, but she's hurt something else as well.
Might be Renee's last year in rugby league. She's been talking up the possibility of retirement from Mackay, of course. Captain the Jillaroos during the Auckland Nines. Let's see what's happened.
It's Kurrawaka Crow underneath again. She just loves tackling in under the football here. She might have corked Renee Kunst in that tackle.
It's hard to see what the injury is, but that's very characteristic. That line she was running, she's very well known for. It's typically quite hard to defend, even when you know she's going to run that line. She's such a powerhouse, but she's had some slight issues with her back in training over the last couple of weeks, so hopefully it's nothing too serious.
This is the run you just spoke to us about, Joe. Changes direction and off the left foot. Good defence, boy. Kurrawaka Crow. Renee's okay. Big, deep pass with a kick inside the 40 on the last. It's an effective kick too. Couple of bounces. Serena Fisso running back, taken by Talfa, along with Sims and along with Brander.
Good to see Annette Brander there. She actually started in the centres for the Jillaroos, but with the absence of Kezi Apps, who We all know
Offside.
last year's Dally M Player of the Year.
Offside.
Fantastic talent from Bega, and Kezi's has been out recuperating from a broken leg, and Annette's come into the second row, and she's doing really well there. I think she's held up really well today.
There's Kezi towering over the top of Sam Brenda. They're two big exclusions for the Aussies, so they're going in a little bit under strength, you would say. A couple of their star players. Oh, there's another good tackle by Ballinger running out there on Kurawaka Crow. On the 30 here is Mariu. Laura Mariu, veteran of New Zealand Rugby League, missed 12 months because of injury, but has found her way back into the Ferns team. Short pass away for Tumawala. Ball's come out. Another mistake for New Zealand.
Probably a lucky one there for the Jillaroos. The Kiwis got 2 offloads in the first set of 6 of the game, so they are pretty dangerous in that second phase play, and it's probably a sigh of relief from the Jillaroos that one didn't come up for the Kiwis that time.
And it's for Tumawala. She's the one that can get an offload. You talked about those 2 in the first set of 6. She had a great offload in that first set, and then yeah, she's one player. If you're on the Kiwis, you just be sniffing around waiting for that late offload.
Heads down, please. Okay, ball in, yep. Out!
Here's Brown running out of dummy half. Karina Brown, 28 years of age. Great story. She was the co-founder of Women's Rugby League at the Burleigh Club on the Gold Coast, which has had a profound impact for the sport across that region, and now has moved to Brisbane and done the same thing with the East Tigers Club. Started Women's Rugby League there as well, Karina Brown. Wonderful role model for the game and a driving force behind it. Here's Caitlin Moran. Played to Brayley, and now Smith. An angled kick. It's taken on the full. Smith leading the chase of her own kick.
Go back and play it on the mark. You can't keep walking forward. Let's hold
Renee Kuntz there helped making the tackle. It's good to see she's shaking off that leg problem. Oh, Sarina Bisso hit strongly. And now Mariu has busted straight through the centre of the Jillaroos defence. Brown can't get her, Moran can't get her. Eventually she's dragged to ground, but earns a penalty for that. There's an inspired charge.
As well, and we stayed there too long.
Yeah, that was unusual. That a few of those girls, usually Caitlin Moran doesn't miss anything, but you know, full credit, that was a fantastic line break, and the Jillaroos will really have to aim up here. They've done quite a bit of defence in the last couple of sets, and it's not over for them yet.
Here's Georgia Hale, takes them on herself. Plays the ball quickly here. They come to Botu Moala. 7 metres out. The Ferns looking for first points. They come left. Hale floats a cut out. Ball intercept. Well done by Corbin McGregor, who streaks off upfield, finds Karina Brown, and she goes to ground. I think her legs gave way there. Referee sees a penalty. And Serena Pisso is issuing some apologies. I think that was a mistake, nothing more.
I think actually Karina, affectionately known as Goose up in Queensland, I think it looked like she slipped as she went into contact. That's a fantastic read by Corbin McGregor though.
They keep going down that edge, the Kiwis. They obviously think there's a weakness down there, but they've been up to the task, the Jillaroos, and nice little intercept there by McGregor. And penalty, which will put Australia back on the...
Oh, kick doesn't find the line. Well, that's the first little blip on Zahara Tamara's score sheet tonight. She's been fantastic, the teenage first gamer. Crystal Tamaroa, taken for New Zealand, too short of the halfway line.
They've got their formation out to this left again, the Kiwis. Jillaroos will crack at some point, but they keep going down there, the Kiwis.
Mariu away to Fotumawala. There's the offload through Hale. It finds its way to Paya. Scored a couple of tries when the teams met in Newcastle last year. Hale again, Mariu. Oh, good defence. Driving tackle by Ali Brigginshaw, who's come on now in 14. Rota out of dummy half, sees some territory, tries to run through the gap. It's the last play. And the Jillaroos will get the ball back via a changeover.
Great to see Ali Brigginshaw back out there. She's another sport. She also does boxing, but she's been playing rugby league since she's a little girl. She's got a very credentialed background in the game, and she'll be a real bonus for the Jillaroos out there. She's experienced and very versatile.
You say she's a boxer as well, did you?
Yeah, she started off, she does a lot of CrossFit and boxing for fitness, but she's had a few fights recently, and tremendous athlete, Ali, and very competitive, and she'll be out here for a win tonight, that's for sure.
Very brave. Rugby league and boxing. There she is. Ali Brigginshaw. Her father, Larry, was a well-known player up in the Queensland ranks in around the 80s. Played alongside Wally Lewis, I understand.
Yeah, and the Queensland primary schools team, I think in...
Wally was saying it was the primary schools team in the 70s. I reckon it might have been closer to the 50s for the King, but we'll let him go with that one. So the Jillaroos controlling things nicely with a 6-0 lead beyond 21 minutes. Sarina Fisso.
Great to see Beck Young on there too. She's just come off the bench, really dual international. She led the Indigenous All-Stars to their first win this year, and she's done so much for a community. She's a wonderful athlete, and Beck will bring a lot to that forward pack now that she's off the bench.
Tupaia tries to sneak down the wing. There's the Australian coach on the right-hand side, Brad Donald. Only recently taken over the role. His first game in charge in the 13-player code. He was in charge at the Auckland Nines, of course, and we saw just before that a shot of the New Zealand coach Tony Benson, his first game overall as coach of the Kiwi Ferns.
Be interesting to see how Tony goes. He's taken over from Alan Jackson, who was a great leader for the Kiwi Ferns, and in a World Cup year, there's probably plenty for him to focus on.
Tony Benson was quoted through the week that they probably got beaten with speed at the Nines, but they're a lot better suited in the 13 aside, a lot more physical.
Here's Cook. Here's Fisso through the hands, looping pass, well taken there by Bainu. Sent back from Wiley. Sarina Fisso again. Again back towards this side of this right-hand side of the field. 4 plays gone for the Kiwi Ferns. Comes away to Cook. Then it comes away to Georgia Hale, who sends a kick over the top. It's vacant space. Chelsea Baker goes back and cops a big tackle around the ribs. Molia Fraser absolutely crunched the Australian winger.
Well, she does well to keep the ball in, but...
Wooshka. You're not getting back in the field of play after that.
She's done well to hold on to the football.
She's a tough country girl from Gladstone. I've got no worries about Chelsea. She'll take that and be back bigger than ever.
So the Australians restart here. It's only a shallow line dropout. And the Ferns here within 13 metres of the Jillaroos line. Crystal Rota. Good surge here. The Ferns go perilously close. Only a metre out. You think they have to score? Over they go, New Zealand. No, she's short of the line. Referee said she was short, but they have to score here, and they will. Atawai Tupaia gets the Ferns' first try. They've had the run of possession down the Jillaroos end of the park, and they've converted that into points.
Yeah, that was just 2 direct runs by a couple of forwards that sucked all the defenders in. You see here, great tackle. was that Kurawaka Crow. She, for all money, looked like she was going to score, but great tackle. But then all the defenders had to go in, quick play the ball, and great vision from dummy half there to get the ball over the top. And that was a great try to the Kiwis with Tapia.
Yeah, look, that was really good work by the Kiwi Ferns, and I think the Jillaroos probably need to regroup now, and I think Karina Brown's doing a really good job back at fullback, but she's had to call defence. You could see it there, and she just couldn't get the girls across in time.
Scored a double in the last test, last 13-player test anyway, last year. That game was in Newcastle, this one in Canberra, capital city of Australia. Lovely surface this here at GIO Stadium. And Laura Mariu with a difficult attempted conversion from the sideline. Gets a good whack on it. Just short. So the Jillaroos hold a 2-point margin. There's been some outstanding defence from both teams, Darren.
Yeah, it's, as I said, they're always physical when these two play, and tonight's no different. We've seen some big hits, this one none bigger than this one. They got the repeat set, which delivered the try for the Kiwis. That was a great kick from the sideline, just fell short, but they're back in it.
She's got a background in volleyball. I'd be interested to see that.
Who's that?
Tuila Fortumawala.
Yeah, imagine that. I reckon the net would just fall down if she looked at it. She's just incredible. What an athlete.
Well, she's got great hands. You see the offload. She just got tackled then. And that's one of the set plays. Like when they come out to the left edge, she goes into the line. She's got great hands, the ability to get the late offload.
So the 14, Aneta Nuasala. And the 16, Arakua, into the game now for New Zealand. Rota has lost it, and Caitlin Moran has won the ball back for the Jillaroos. Rayleigh away now, Brigginshaw. Spent a long time out of the Jillaroos setup, you were telling me, Joe, Ali Brigginshaw.
Well, she did break a leg a couple of seasons ago, and then coming back, it was hard for her to get back in the side because the depth of the Jillaroos is such that she had to work her way back into the southeast Queensland and Queensland side. And then she was on the fringe of this squad, but due to injury and a few changes, she's back in and coming off the bench. So it's great for the Jillaroos as far as depth, and it's certainly driven her to bigger and better things in the game.
And she was a member of the team which won the 2013 World Cup. And the Jillaroos heading this year hoping to defend that title.
Ali basically did her apprenticeship. Apart from being an under-12 player, she played alongside Karen Murphy in the halves from club right through to national level. And that was really consolidating for all of us when we went to the World Cup.
Comes back for Tamara, who sends a high kick. Oh, Serena Fisso's lost it again. That's the second handling error, and Tamara, who kicked it, will score it. 2 tries for the Jillaroos, both coming to first gamers. The first, Isabel Kelly, and now Zahara Tamara has scored.
What an inspiration that young girl is. She's come up through the ranks on the Gold Coast. She's followed in the footsteps of the likes of Tani Morris and Karina Brown, who've really nurtured her at club level. She's given an opportunity in the halves. She's a fairly quiet personality in training, but her form's doing all the talking tonight. It's wonderful to see.
Yeah, good pressure there. Seeing the Harvey Norman replay, quite often we'll see someone put a bomb up and they'll let the rest of the team chase, but she showed good energy here and good commitment to chase her own kick, and she picked up the reward. Well done.
So a great moment for Zahara Tamara. And now Moran from right in front puts the Jillaroos out by 12 points to 4.
12 points to 4. It's a handy lead. There's 10 minutes to go. It's important time leading into half-time. I guess whoever controls the football builds the pressure in this game, and that's be important for the Jillaroos right now to get to their kick.
Joe, Serena Fisso, the New Zealand Ferns captain, has made a couple of really bad, uncharacteristic errors. That one leading directly to a try.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. It is very uncharacteristic of her. And I know I said it earlier, but she's such a seasoned performer. Even if, you know, I was going for the Kiwi Ferns, which we know I'm a biased Jillaroos supporter, it probably wouldn't bother me too much, because if anyone can afford to make mistakes and come back and lead a side to a win, it is Serena. So I'm sure she'll be able to regroup, and I certainly, if I was a Jillaroo out there, wouldn't be relaxing and being complacent about her form tonight.
Eliana Walton coming off the bench for the Aussies. Oh, there's a huge tackle. What a shot by Crystal Rota. Absolutely bone-rattling defence. Look at this. Whack. That's a copybook tackle.
Physically, she's not one of the biggest girls out there, but she certainly knows what to do in defence.
Smith weaves through, gives it away to Moran. She's really light on her feet. Back to Smith, who started it. Gee, another try for the Jillaroos here would be massive for them. They're inside New Zealand's 20. Here's the last tackle. Moran steps up to put the kick over the top. It's only shallow. And the tackle is made there by Tupaia.
It was good work by Tupaia, because if the Jillaroos get the football here, they had about four people free, and it would have been almost a try had they got the ball away, the Jillaroos. It was a great tackle, try-saving tackle by Tupaia.
Laura Mardiu has had a huge game. Tackled on the 30-metre line. There's a lady in the headgear there, number 13. What a great performance from her. Plenty of work. You can see she's at the top of the metres game list in a team that's trailing by 8 points.
You never got to marker, you're offside.
Penalty coming the way of the Kiwi Ferns. So Crystal Rota will tap it and sends it away. Arakua. Ngato Koturo Arakua in 16. Now Fisso really runs onto that with venom. Picks up 15 metres, stopped 25 out from the Jillaroos line. Short pass from Hale. Went to Fotu Mawala. The Jillaroos marking very closely on her, and you can understand why. Hale out the back. Here's Fisso. Good defence again. Corbin McGregor. She's been busy on that side of the field for the Jillaroos. Away to Hale. Away to Fotu Mawala. The back row has been in everything for New Zealand. Taken 4 metres out. Last tackle. The Ferns be keen to force a repeat set here if they can't come up with points. It finds its way through Cook. Arakua, ball was on the ground. That's a sloppy end of the set.
That's about the 4th time they've tried to run it on the 5th. It's obviously a tactic, because and they were close that time, but the Jillaroos read it well, shut it down.
No more.
What the Jillaroos have worked on, well, prior to the Auckland Nines, but certainly since then, is their fitness. More than anything, they know physically they're pretty even, if not on the weaker side, in terms of out-muscling the Kiwis and the forwards in particular. So they work on fitness. So when you see that scrambling defence, that's what they're all about at the moment.
Here goes McGregor. Good yards. Up to the halfway. Taken by Mariu. Rebecca Young, wearing jersey 15 from Newcastle, north of Sydney. And now the kick is an effective one into the corner by Simone Smith. Taken by Tupaia. who runs back strongly, but is met by the halves. Smith in 7 and Tamara in 6. Some help there from Tolfu as well. Jillaroos 12-4. Women's International Rugby League from Canberra.
It's great to see Beck Young out there. She's come off the bench at number 15. She debuted for Australia in 2011. Been such a stalwart, but missed out on playing in the World Cup final, and I know that's driven her to stay in the game and certainly finish on a big
Here's a
note
kick
this
for the
year.
wing, Joe. It was put through by Mariu. It was a wonderful kick, but the defence was superb by Isabel Kelly. Isn't she enjoying her first game for the Jillaroos, Darren?
Yeah, well done. She was in a bit of trouble there. She'd come infield to defend, but there was a threat. As Viu Inu was coming down the sideline there, and Kelly, the moment she picked the ball up, she took it over the sideline. Well done.
Girls, when we get tackled, make sure we're not walking forward off the mark to play the ball. Play when you're tackled, okay? Okay, coming together, New Zealand.
See both teams really gasping for as much air at this stage of the game as they can. 4 minutes out from the half-time break. The Jillaroos with the jump. There's Chelsea Baker from Gladstone in Queensland, tackled on the 20. Oh, another good tackle. The Ferns rushing up off their line, trying to force an error. Brigginshaw took the ball to ground. Now Kelly in from the wing. 15 out from the halfway. McGregor finds a way to the 40. This is strong, imposing defence here from New Zealand. They're throwing everything at the Jillaroos. Brayley to Taufu. Here's the last. It'll come back now for Tamara, who decides to go for a high kick in the direction of Tupaya. Brigginshaw chasing with real determination, and Tupaya was a sitting duck. Now Sarina Fiso.
Ali tells a story when she was growing up. She wanted to play rugby league, but was having trouble with defence, so her dad made her practice in the front yard until she got it right before she could go back and play with the boys. And you can see it now as an adult. She just naturally gets in the right position every time.
Was she tackling tree stumps or something, was she?
Oh, probably out at Ipswich. It would have been a big yard.
Mariu away to Arakua, and now Tamarua shown the sideline, keeps it alive. Well done. The Ferns now towards the line. Here's a chance. It's Vainu, gives it away to Alexandra Cook. She keeps it alive. Back to Hale. Ball alive. Brilliant stuff from New Zealand. They're taking the ground 5 out. 4 metres out now. Outstanding rugby league. Here's a golden chance on the stroke of half-time. A high kick now from Cook. It's gone nowhere, really. Oh, the catch is taken. But the Jillaroos scramble and the catch by the tackle on Tamarua has forced the changeover.
Great defence. Really good attacking football from the Ferns then. They'd shift out to the right.
Right side here, 14.
And then it was Viu Inu that cut back in field, and she nearly scored, but just through the scrambling defence of the Jillaroos, they survived just before half-time.
Well, there's not long to go now. It was great to see young Simone Smith, the half on debut at the bottom of the pile of that defence. For a girl who hasn't played a lot of rugby league, and she's come into the side, she's a fantastic talent. I've got big raps on that kid, and to see her doing that in a debut, you get a lot of lift from a halfback that can do that in defence.
So that stat has certainly levelled up. It was all the Jillaroos with both possession and territory early in the game, but the Ferns have worked away, and despite only having 4 points on the board, they'd be optimistic of a second half revival. Here's Rebecca Young, taken on her own 40-metre line, and that's hurt her. That's really stung, that tackle. 30 seconds out from the break. They'd want a big kick here, the Jillaroos. Tamara runs it. Goes to Moran. She scoots away. Gives the pass to Kelly. Back to Moran. Well, that's as good as a kick, you'd say.
I think Moran was calling for the kick, but it's always a risk when you run out of the line 5th and last and you leave an overlap outside you. And the Jillaroos, they took advantage of that, but good scrambling defence from the Kiwis.
So Serena Fisso will happily take the final tackle of the first half. And both teams, they deserve a break, don't they? They've thrown everything at each other. It's the Jillaroos, though. They've got a handy margin at half-time. 12 points to 4. 8-point ball game here in favour of Australia. It's International Women's Rugby League from Canberra.
For the Jillaroos lead the Kiwi Ferns at half-time. Try on debut to Isabel Kelly.
Yeah, the first try of the game went to this young lady. A poor tackle from Alex Cook led to that try there.
Then the Kiwi Ferns finally get going wide.
Yep, finally passed the ball too. That time, Crystal Rosa, nice long ball out to the wing and Atafai to Paya. Great work.
Second debutant, second try. This time it's Zahara Tamara.
Yeah, Serena Fessel dropped the ball there, and then Zahara Tamara went in for her first try of the match.
And it's 12-4 at half-time. The disappointing thing I think we've saw in at least the first 30 minutes, the middle is being belted, the Kiwi middle is being belted by the Aussies.
Yeah, I think the Jillaroos have shocked them a little bit in there, but I see a little bit of a lack of communication going on in there. The girls aren't talking on attack and on defence as well.
Now, there's a lot of talk from Benton that there was going to be a lot of attack from the side. They're going to go out and play what's in front of them. However, when they're not winning the collision, they're not winning the first up initial contact, you can't really get that go forward to go and play on the back of it. So that's where they're struggling.
There is one player on the Kiwi Ferns side, Bunty Korawaka Crow, who is tackling up a storm, and she is certainly making her presence felt. But you said her tackle style looks a little bit...
Yeah, her tackle technique's a little bit off. She's a very hard worker. You know, she's got a bent back. Obviously, you want to be a little bit straighter on their back and ensure that you go through nice and hard, especially being a prop forward. You want to be not passive like she has been, but she's been a willing worker and taken some very hard runs, that's for sure.
But talk to us about Toro Arakua, because she has made a difference off the bench.
Yeah, she came in. She is definitely the impact player there. When she came in, she's had some good runs. She's broke the line. She's standing up in the tackle, which is really good, so it gives the option to offload. She's not going straight to ground, which just shows how strong she is.
I think disorganisation in the halves is a little bit of an issue. Would you like to see Georgia Hale take a little bit more control?
I think she's trying to, and I think she needs to do that a lot better into the second half. But I think first and foremost, she needs to get that punch from her team. When the Black Ferns are playing with a bit more football and they're playing a bit of the passing game, going down the short sides, giving a bit of early ball, they look a lot better.
Tash, 15 options, they've been caught 4 times on that. But we saw just before, they're finally starting to get thinking about what they've got to do.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the whole communication thing. They're not talking about what tackle it is and where they are in the play. So they're getting caught out a little bit too much there.
All right, there's plenty of work to do for the Kiwi Ferns against the Jillaroos. Game 1 of 2 before the final ANZAC test in 2017, and for good between the Kiwis and the Kangaroos. 12-4, the Jillaroos lead. You know there's more from Canberra coming up, so stay with us. 12-4 at half-time. The Jillaroos lead the Kiwi Ferns in this doubleheader of International Rugby League. It's rep weekend tomorrow. I know these two are pretty excited to talk some more. Tonga are playing, and there are some good teams out there. I know you're excited about Manu Vasave turning up for Tonga.
And I believe he's probably going to cry before the match. That's how much he's going to give for this team. Mate Matonga. He is a great... I'm serious, man, because he's going to play with that much emotion. Having been there, done it before, knowing playing for your nation and also playing for the Kiwis, I bet you.
What are you
a sparkle in his eye and on his golden tooth.
I'm looking forward to the Cooks and PNG because, of course, PNG is the only country in the world where rugby league is the national sport. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and actually, you know, the funny thing, no one's talking about the Poms playing. Yeah. They almost don't give a care.
And don't forget Joseph Parker tomorrow night.
That's right, big boy.
Okay.
That's right. We're
4024.
Big hits.
Text Parker to 4024. Get in on it. It's sold out. at Vodafone Arena. So we're looking forward to that one up against Razvan Kojanu, Bigfoot. Someone suggested us have big feet or just one big foot. But he has been his training partner. We'll soon find out. Here we go. We're back at GIO Stadium in Canberra. It's a great bumper sporting weekend. And the Kiwi Ferns have got work to do. They trailed by 8 against the Jillaroos, who are on the way back out. Let's rejoin our team from Channel 9.
So it's the Jillaroos with a 12-4 lead over the Kiwi Ferns.
Stay inside.
And we usher in the second half of this Women's Trans-Tasman Test. New Zealand tasted victory last year. The Jillaroos looking to avenge that. The last 4 Test matches, they've swung around 2 wins apiece. The Aussies looking to get the upper hand here. They've got an 8-point margin to protect in the second half. Renee Kunst was hurt in the first half. She looks to have suffered some sort of a cork around the quad, but she's okay now, and she's one of the real leaders of this Australian pack. They take great benefit when she's out on the park. Rayleigh gives it away to Tamara. Good tackle on Rebecca Young. That's Ada Kura with a big shot. Smith with an inside pass. Now Eliana Walton driving forward. Tackled on the 30-metre line of New Zealand. Laura Mariu is the defender. She's changed the jumper at half-time. That kick might roll dead, and it does, just a fraction deep. Mariu was in 13, now wearing 23. In fact, no, she's not. She's not wearing 23. She remains in the 13. Laura Mariu for New Zealand.
Over on the cross.
Yeah, good set there by the Jillaroos. They went 80 metres before they kicked. Now, the international rules are different to what we're used to in the NRL. Won't be 0 tackle here. Let's tackle 1, so you only get a set of 6 off a restart.
There's Mariu. Gee, she's got through some work, hasn't she? Laura Mariu. Won 3 World Cups with the New Zealand team. They're locked forward. Fortu Mawala has had plenty of football, but it's come unstuck once more for New Zealand.
Yeah, we talked about her in the first half, getting the offload away. I was looking at the halftime stats. The Kiwis had 9 offloads in the first half. This would have been 10, but it just didn't quite go to hand, that one. I guess that's the real threat for the Jillaroos, is that second phase play.
Yeah, they got out of jail there, Lockie. That's Georgia Hale. She's an NRL ambassador over in New Zealand and pivotal in the organisation of New Zealand Kiwi Ferns. So she'll be very disappointed with that and certainly eager to make up for that mistake.
9 offloads for the Ferns and none for the Jillaroos, Darren.
Yeah, it's a real... I guess that's the back end of the game. That'll be... They'll have to keep scrambling the Jillaroos if that trend continues.
And no reason to suggest why it won't. They're chasing points. New Zealand, 8 of them, in fact. There's Moran. Tackled on the halfway. Brayley, and now to Rebecca Young. Shoved back. Desperately wanted to offload. Tackle had been completed.
You need to play the ball. Wait. Square markers on 3.
Yeah, just the play before that, Caitlin Moran came in. I don't think anyone's told her she's not in the forward pack. She's not a big girl, but she keeps taking it straight into the contact, straight into the middle, and she's fearless out there, and I look forward to seeing her as the game opens up.
Yes, her bravery belies her small frame, doesn't it? Here's Smith taking on the line. Big show and go there from the number 7. Final play. The Jillaroos through Tamara. She looks to stop this kick towards the corner. Oh, another handling error. It's been touched. Well, the back 3 for the Kiwi Ferns. Vainu that time has made a mistake, but there's been a couple of others from her counterparts at the back, and the pressure will continue here from the Jillaroos.
Yeah, good work by the halves once again. It was Simone Smith took the tackle. She took the line on. She's been doing that well tonight. And then gave a quick play the ball, which gave Tamara plenty of time to get a nice kick into the backfield. And the Kiwis spill it over the line, which gives the Jillaroos another 6.
And now a big run by Eliana Walton. What about that for a surge?
Eliana Walton came off the bench for us in the 2013 World Cup, and she's been in and out of the game with injury. She is an absolute wrecking ball and wasn't expecting to come down here. Got called up after the camp on the weekend and had to change her flights.
Here's a chance. It's with Smith. Goes an 8 away to Renee Kunst, and she's stopped within a couple of the line. Desperate to find her feet. Wants a quick play the ball. She can't get up. Might be play acting there, I'd suggest. The referee certainly thought that. Brayley now sweeps it away to Smith, who tries a right foot step. The offload came out the back, but it's only been turned over. The Kiwi Ferns have got the ball back. Now Sarina Fisso. She may have been a bit out of sorts tonight, the captain, but Darren, she looks like the most likely, doesn't she? Such a classy player.
Well, she doesn't stop trying, you know. Like, she's probably one of the smallest on the field, yet she takes the first hit up nearly every set. And as Joe said earlier, she's one player, regardless of the errors she's making, she'll do her best to lift the team.
Arakua playing it on the 40. Rota gave the pass away. There's Arakua. She's got a problem with her wrist there. Has been dynamic off the bench.
Good.
As Moreu puts a long kick downfield. Brown eventually picks it up at the back. She's got a wall of Kiwi jumpers confronting her. A good kick chase there for New Zealand. Brown trapped inside her own 20. Here's Kelly in from the wing. Picks up some good metres. 18 short of the halfway. Moran waits at dummy half. She's got some great evasive footwork. You can see it on display here. So Arakua has come to the bench with that arm limply on her right-hand side. McGregor in from the centres. There's 4 plays gone. And a penalty coming to the Jillaroos.
You're on the mark. You're on the mark.
They're off and gone now. They're trying to keep the pressure on the Jillaroos. They might sense more points coming here. They're out by 12-4. Brigginshaw in from dummy half. Pass now to Taufu. Look at this for a determined run. Still going. Brilliant start. She has not stopped tonight, the Australian lock forward. Now Smith scoots away down that left-hand edge. Gets within 7 of the Kiwi Ferns line. You sense New Zealand, they're just gripping on here. Moran away. Now Tamara. Held 10 short. 4 plays down. Brayley to Moran. To Rebecca Young. Fotu Moala in 12 there, the chief tackler. Only 5 short. Moran wants the kick. It takes a rebound away. Oh, the ball was there to be collected. It's still the last tackle.
Changeover.
And the Kiwis have effected a changeover.
No, back there.
Yeah, it wasn't played at. So again, the Ferns survive. They have defended their try line well tonight. Jillaroos throwing plenty at them. That time the kick didn't find its place, and the Kiwis survived.
Tamarua shoved over the sideline. What about that for swarming Jillaroos defence? Brilliant determination. The halfback, Simone Smith, was in the middle of that.
You got Simone Smith and Caitlin Moran in that tackle. Now, they were 2 of the girls that were part of the Indigenous All-Stars team that won earlier this year, and that is one of the reasons I think those girls won. Under the coach of Dean Witters, their defence was outstanding, and they turned up for each other the whole game, and you've just seen it there. What a fantastic time to get the Kiwis over the line.
She's come up for a rest, which I don't think she's injured.
She's sorry, Darren. She's only new to the 13-a-side tackle format of the game, isn't she, Joe? I think she played more sort of tag rugby league, Simone Smith.
Yeah, we on the way in, Wally and Darren and I ran into her family in the car park, and they were getting photos with the boys and saying she's mainly played touch football.
Yeah.
And played over in New Zealand and represented Australia. So what a fantastic talent. I think there's plenty more to come from that young lady.
So Maddie Studden is an adequate replacement. She was the incumbent halfback for the Australian team. She's there in jumper 18. They come away from her though. Tamara gives it away to Brigginshaw. Taken by Sarina Fisso. Back to Tamara. There's Studden, takes it to the line. Lovely pass. Brown joins in, keeps it alive. Away to Kelly, away to Moran. New Zealand, they just get numbers across to stop it. Brayley from dummy half. The Jillaroos trying the power play. It doesn't work. Taken a couple short. They've still got 2 plays left. Studden away to Tamara, away to Brown. That might have taken a handoff, Fancy. 6 to go, says the referee. Corbin McGregor has it for the Jillaroos. Runs up the centre of the park. So the Aussies, they're just heaping pressure on.
They can't hold on, can they, the Kiwis?
They've been defending forever, Darren. Here's Taufu. She deserves a try. Only the upright will stop her. New Zealand must crack. The Aussies have had the ball down here for a decade. Studden now tries to weave through. Can't get past Cook. And Tamarua. 5 out. Here goes Renee. Constant, she's over.
Absolute fan of Renee. No one deserves that more than her. She's had to travel for this sport since she started playing for Mackay. She's an incredible leader on and off the field. Works in the game. She's just signed up with a brand new club in Brisbane to help them out, West Brisbane Panthers, and what a fantastic try for Renee.
Yeah, set play. Dummy half come out was with their eyes looking out to the left as though she was going to spread it to the left. See there, and then just a little pass on the inside. 1-on-1. They couldn't hold on any longer, the Kiwis, but they still had to hold on the football, the Jillaroos, and they did that. They stay composed, stay patient, and they get points on the back of it.
Well, they were not going to stop Renee. It wouldn't have mattered where she got the ball then. She had a look of utter determination on her face. And she charged for the line. Unstoppable from close range. So the Australian back rower has opened up a 12-point margin for the Jillaroos, and this is a critical kick. Maddie Studden to make it a 14-point buffer. Only just on the park, the utility player off the bench tonight. That's what Studden is looking at, and it's off target. So the gap stays at 12-16-4 in favour of the Jillaroos. So the Kiwi Ferns have a lot of work to do here against a determined and energetic Jillaroos side. 16-4.
Make sure we stay inside.
Laura Mariu will be the player to restart it for New Zealand. Only a shallowish kickoff. Oh, the bounce, it sits up, and Studden was there just to win it back for the Aussies.
Yeah, it's not much fun when that ball's in the air like that. You got a whole team screaming down after the kickoff. She did well there. Important for the Jillaroos here to get to their kick. They've got a handy lead, but they just don't want to invite the Ferns back into this.
There's the try scorer, Renee Kunst, with a great run. Norda Maka in 17 is out there now for New Zealand. McGregor taken around the legs by Korowaka Crow. Sent away from Brayley through the hands of Studden, and now to Taufu. What a powerhouse performance from her tonight. Plenty of defence, plenty of carries with the footy. Studden, that's a classy kick. This is going to sit up right near the goal line. Only 5 out when it's stopped by Bayunu, and A good chase there, led by Moran, then Studden comes racing after her own kick, along with Isabel Kelly, and the Ferns have been trapped inside their own 10.
Yeah, great set there by the Jillaroos with the perfect kick at the end. They just... no penalties now.
Karina Wiley plays it, and now Mariu, who has gone the full distance so far. All 54, nearly 55 minutes. Here's a good surge, lovely pass away to Maka. There may have been a question mark on that. The referee was in line with it, and he was happy to let play roll. Played to Rota, had to be a penalty. The markers were never straight. And on the last play, the Kiwi Ferns have won the penalty.
Well, they needed something, didn't they, the Ferns? They were under pressure. A little dart there through the back of the markers. And then it was Mucker that came up with the support to get him down into the Jillaroos backfield.
Lilietta Mau, reintroduced by the coach Tony Benson, started in the front row. It comes through the hands of Hale, and now to Fiso. Gives the offload away. Great defence again by the Jillaroos. Wiley's bundled into touch.
Yeah, again, the Jillaroos got themselves out of trouble there, but that was fantastic work in defence, and they've slid. There's Samara heading right over. So there's a halfback, and look at the ground she makes up to make sure that tackle gets finished. That's excellent work, and they needed that because the Kiwis were coming at them full steam.
It was nice work by Baker there, up against a bigger body. Came over. Well done.
Heads down, all the way, ball in.
Brigginshaw picks it up from the back of the scrum, or Taufu got crunched. Good determined defence there. Well, the Kiwis have got to try and force an error while the Jillaroos have got the ball down here. Kelly, she seized upon. Cook in there with Mariu. Now McGregor. Good footwork from Corbin McGregor.
Good run.
Play to Brayley. Oh, there's a miscommunication, and
First Australia.
Renee Kunster's knocked it on.
First Australia.
Well, this will be a really important time for both sides in as far as this could be where the Kiwis close that margin. And Renee's got a really strong netball background and usually has fantastic hands, so she won't be overly happy with that, but I'm a little bit worried now. Well, the Ferns could take advantage of this.
That was all brought on by the line speed pressure of the Ferns there, the whole set. Except for the McGregor run, they were just in the Jillaroos' face.
Here's Serena Fisso, she sees off McGregor. They're away down the sideline again, the Jillaroos. They converge. Karina Brown made the tackle. The quick play the ball. Fisso with the pass to Fotu Moala. One-handed offload. It's taken the hand of Chelsea Baker. Knock on against the Jillaroos. I don't think they'd mind that, actually, Darren. The Jillaroos' defence was all over the shop.
Yeah, but it is another set of 6, so the pressure will remain. You see Fiso, she gets the palm out and puts Wiley away. Good cover defence, which they've done well all night, the Jillaroos. And then, again, Patua Moala loves getting the offload away. She gets it away then, but Baker had the hand out. A big set of defence for the Jillaroos coming up.
Here's Fisso joining in the back line. Right foot step, one-handed pass, it goes to ground. Vainu had the line wide open.
Scrum in here.
Oh, you can see the devastation on the faces of both players involved there. Fisso and Vainu, she was over.
Yeah, she had him done there, a little right foot step. She knew where the space and the player was, Viala, but she just couldn't get two hands, and the pass was at her feet. It was catchable, but it was difficult. So a let off there for the Jillaroos.
McGregor out of dummy half. Gets as far as her own 20-metre line. Hilda Peters is the player in 15 who made that tackle, Brigginshaw. Only picks up 6 metres. 3 gone. Starting away to Ruan Sims, the skipper back out there, and she leaves one behind. Kurawaka Crow. Back now for Studden, who kicks early. This is inside the 40. She wants this to roll on. It'll find the line about 23 metres out, 16-4, the Jillaroos over the Ferns.
Yeah, nice kick. They needed to get to the kick after a couple of repeat sets there, Jillaroos, so that just... Yeah, nice kick there. Sort of exactly what they needed, the Jillaroos, and someone here's gone down injured. It's Tafu. She's got through a mountain of work tonight. Seems to be holding right bicep there, so this will just take a bit of energy out of the game, which is what the Jillaroos want. They just want to calm it down.
28 tackles, 13 runs.
Come together.
Huge performance.
Make sure you're not breaking early. Wait for the outcall.
So the New Zealand captain, Sarina Bissau. So 18 short of halfway here, the Ferns. Fotu Moala. Rota 36 tackles, Mariu 29. They've done plenty of work. Those two in particular, the 13 and the 9 for New Zealand. Oh, Ruan Sims with an absolute bell ringer. What a tackle from the captain. Inspirational stuff, and she backs up with another one. Brilliant defence from Ruan Sims. She was appealing there for a kick by Mau in the tackle. It's been charged down, so New Zealand will have their set of 6 replenished now as Sarina Bissau tries to find a way through. Brigginshaw around the legs with an important tackle. They're behind by 12, New Zealand, but they're certainly not out of this by any stretch. One-handed offload, it bounces up. Alexandra Cook has the ball. And now the surge from Kurawaka Crow, taken by Ruan Sims and also Rebecca Young. They're in the centre of the field. They come to Mariu, and then the inside pass, it finds Mau. Within 18 of the line. 4 plays down for the Kiwi Ferns. Lovely pass from Hale, and now it's with Peters. She's shut down 9 short. Well, the Jillaroos defence, it's been brilliant so far. They're being examined tonight. On this occasion, the kick, it will sit up beautifully in the in goal for New Zealand, and Karina Brown had no option but to run that dead.
Yeah, good footy from both teams. Jillaroos had to defend after the charge down. Another set of 6 coming their way in defence, but nice little kick. Here's the hit from Ruan. Oh, she's had 3 in about the last 5 minutes. She's looking to lift her team.
I'd say the Sims family, most families sit around and play board games. I reckon there's good odds that they did that in the backyard. And last weekend in a trial match, Ruan actually played opposite her sister CJ, who's having a run around for Ipswich Brothers. And it was Battle of the Giants. They are tremendous athletes.
Well, the 3 brothers are all playing this weekend as well. Corbin for Fiji, Tarek is playing for country, and they tell me Ashton's playing for Warrington in the UK Super League. So the entire family's having a footy weekend. Representative weekend, of course. The Jillaroos centre stage. Wonderful exhibition of rugby league from both teams here. So Brittany Brayley gets back to her
let's
feet,
go,
the
6.
Australian number 9.
Time on, stay on!
There's a restart. Oh, that would have gone out on the full if it was allowed to by Vainu, but she decided to take the catch anyhow. Mal on the 20-metre line. The Ferns, they've had a bit of ball in the last few minutes. They need to convert to points. Ballinger returns to the field with interest. There's a great tackle. The two 35-year-old front rowers for the Jillaroos combining. Mariu now. Only 5 out. It comes back now for Cook, and now to Fisso. She tries to find a gap. Only a metre short. The Jillaroos goal line defence has remained steadfast right throughout the night. Pass shoveled back. And now Mal taken again with some good front on defence. Georgia Hale gave the pass. Rota into dummy half. Here's Hale again. She wants a cross kick. It's along the ground. Baker went for the ball and left it behind. That's presented a chance. But the Ferns, they're taken on the last again. Great defence by the Jillaroos.
You talked about their fitness earlier, Joe. Well, they're just scrambling for everything at the moment, and they're doing it. They're making it look easy, actually. Kiwis are throwing everything at them, but the Jillaroos just keep showing up.
To their credit, Lockie, they're not training together week in, week out like a lot of footballers. So they come into camp 2 or 3 times a year, and then they go away with the programs that they're given. And a lot of them are training on their own in remote areas. So it's wonderful to see that they're obviously doing the work away from camp, and it's showing on the field.
Yes, there's the coach, Brad Donald. He said this team is built on trust, and we're seeing a great illustration of that. All the players, as you say, Joe, have been asked to complete their own training regime away from camp, and they live in vastly different parts of Australia. Burdened by the tyranny of distance, this team, but they've all done extremely well to present themselves in such great condition. It's showing here at 16-4. Oh, another great shot. Brigginshaw, although the referee says it was a fraction high.
Thanks, mate.
Tamara come out of that one a bit sore as well. She was the one penalised for the high tackle, but she's got looks like she's hurt a calf. So they'll keep coming, the Kiwis. I think the offloads now are 14-1, so they're going to keep throwing them. So the Jillaroos will just have to keep turning up in defence like they have, but they won't dive undering the Ferns.
Now, I was talking to Gary Peacham, who's the national coaching manager for New Zealand Rugby League earlier in the week, and he was saying how the domestic competition for New Zealand women has doubled in the last 18 months, and it's really growing. The area of growth for them is in the South Island, so it's great for the sport in general because the Kiwis have always set the standard, I guess, in a lot of ways for International Women's Rugby League, and leading up to the World Cup this year, I think we've got a terrific battle on our hands.
So the final 15 minutes. Can the Ferns muster something? Australia's defence has been amazing. They've thrown everything back at them. The Ferns are just working away, trying to find something. Mal. She's upended by another robust tackle there by Ruan Sims. And Rebecca Young. Rota away to Korowaka Crow. Bounce with Hale, takes on the line. Sims again with a big tackle. Crucial shot from the Australian captain there. Korowaka Crow runs for the line, stopped 8 metres out. If they can pick up some points here, New Zealand, we've really got game on. It comes to Nora Maka, gives the pass to Peters. She goes for the line, and once again, the Jillaroos goal line defence, absolutely brilliant.
Just right there, right?
Well done. Just got to
off you go.
Tip your hat to the Jillaroos, because the Ferns, they're throwing the football around, and they're throwing some good attacking football, but they just keep turning up the yellow jumpers, and Ruan Sims, she's getting through plenty of work there. Renee Kuntz, she's coming off for a well-deserved rest.
Isabel Kelly, there's a good run. Getting it out of the 20-metre area. Pass away from Studden finds Ballinger. Georgia Hale, along with Bunty, Kurawaka, Crow there. Tamara. And Brander. She gallops for 15 metres, but got hit strongly there by Tupaya, who surged in off the wing. Now Young once more. And the Jillaroos up to the halfway. Picked up 45 metres on this set. They go towards the short right-hand side, and the kick from Tamara. Very well weighted. Just to the New Zealand in goal. And now Fiso is stopped just outside her own 10. Good chase there by Maddie Studden.
Great kick, great chase.
The 20th meeting between these two teams. It's a willing encounter, as we've come to expect. New Zealand won last year, 26-16. The Jillaroos with a 12-point gap, but still plenty of time left on the clock. Mau taken by Young and Ballinger. The kick will come for New Zealand on their own side of halfway. Mariu with a big right boot. And it takes a favourable bounce, stays in the field of play. Baker tries to run around the chase. Oh, Mariu came charging after Baker. Brown, pardon me.
Shoulder charge.
And shoulder charge penalty called. Well, Karina Brown is lucky that Laura Mariu didn't hit her properly, because she would have been knocked into Belconnen.
I think that was maybe a bit of a tough call, actually. It's like she's got her arm out, and
it almost looks like she missed more than she meant to. Shoulder charge.
She just come from a long way back. That's what made it look worse than it did.
She's an incredible footballer, though.
Ellie Brigginshaw. Taken by Mariu. What a game she's had. The New Zealand number 13, and she's forced a mistake. Oh, she's been outstanding. Laura Mariu. Injury kept her sidelined for 12 months. She hasn't been part of this New Zealand team for an extended period and has battled a range of injuries. But goodness me, hasn't she returned with a bang tonight? Laura Mariu.
Well, she's been part of 3 World Cup winning sides. She knows how to compete. She knows how to win. And with all due respect, I can't imagine she doesn't really want, she doesn't want the Jillaroos to win. So she'll do what it takes, and you can see that out there.
She knows how to be physical, I know that.
Oh, Fortuna Wala has collapsed in pain on the sideline. Tupaya up against Chelsea Baker. That's been a very good duel. The respective number 5s. Tuila Fotumawala, the player being treated on the sideline. Inside the final 10 minutes, the Ferns have got to find a try from somewhere. Bisso half sticks ahead through the line there. Stop 14 out from the Jillaroos line. Forward goes Kurawaka Crow. And they're 8 metres short. Last tackle. Slow play the ball. Orota to Hale to Fiso, left foot kick, well weighted. Gee, that's good skill, isn't it, from Serena Fiso, the New Zealand captain, and Chelsea Baker is happy to dive on that. There'll be a repeat set coming, though, the way of the Ferns.
Yeah, again, the Jillaroos defence, outstanding. It's just no way through for the Kiwis. They had to resort to the kick on the last. Good work, though, by Fiso. Gets another set of 6, so it's a big set of 6 for the Jillaroos here.
Yeah, Fiso's...
Stay on side!
Yeah, Fiso's combining really well with Crystal Rother, and they've got a bit of player experience, but that's what I'd be worried about. She came in there behind the ruck, and if that keeps up, they could get over the line, to be honest.
Arnetta Nuasala in 14. Here's Noramaka. 2 strong charges here for the Ferns. They're 11 out from the Jillaroos line. Mariu carries defenders towards the line. She stopped 3 metres out. New Zealand are coming home with power here. They're over the line, but there's a stack of goal jumpers around the ball. Played back. Power surge here from Nuasala. Can't get her over the line. There's 5 gone. They haven't tried any trick shots yet. There might be one coming. Out the back through Hale to Fisso. Ball keeps alive. Back to Fisso. Now to Hale. She'll eventually kick. There's no one out here for Australia. The ball bounces up. The chaser's on. It's gone dead. Emma coming back to the 20.
Yeah, nice play there by the Ferns. They went left and they couldn't get on the outside of the Jillaroos. Offload came back and then a nice kick. But the bounce didn't sit up for the Ferns. And again, the Jillaroos were there in numbers. Just keep doing it, Jillaroos. They get a reward. They get a 20-metre restart.
Number 23. Nice speed, ladies!
Brayley, Studden, Brigginshaw. She's thrown everything into tonight, Ali Brigginshaw.
Work buckers!
Ballinger now. There's a tough run from the Aussie front rower. They're within 10 of the halfway line. Studden shows left, takes on the line and got jolted by Nuasala. Goodness me. The defence has been extraordinary from both teams. It doesn't stop Ali Brigginshaw, though. She tucked it under the arm and goes for a hard run forward. Stopped a couple short of the halfway. Here's a big kick coming. Studden sends it downfield. First bounce. And back comes Vayunu. She's suffering from some cramp.
There's been a lot of them suffering from cramp.
Yeah, the only wonder is there's not more of them, Darren.
Yeah, it's been an intense game. I mean, it's high quality. We haven't...
Full credit to both sides, considering they don't play at this level regularly because there isn't that next tier of competition. Apart from the interstate matches for the Aussie girls, most of these girls are just playing club footy until they get to this level. So to maintain this intensity and this pace at this stage of the year is just a credit to both teams and their coaching staff.
That's a good tackle. There's been some good defence from both sides. And that's, you know, whoever wins tonight, it looks like the Jillaroos are going to get there, it'll be on the back of their defence.
Oh, solid tackle on Nuasala this time. There's 6 minutes to go and both teams are still giving everything they have. Can the Ferns make up some points here? Mariu with another charge. Her second of this set.
That's by Mataufa, and she's had a shoulder reconstruction and obviously went well because she's done a lot of defence tonight.
Here's a kick. It's a delicately placed one and it's well retrieved there by Karina Brown at the back. The clock is becoming the enemy for the Ferns. Can they force an error out of the Jillaroos? Moran, they have good line speed there. Noramaka along with Crystal Rota, the defenders. Brigginshaw, she stopped. They've only got to their own 20-metre line here, the Aussies. Ball play's gone. Tamara with the inside ball to Taufu. So this kick will come from very deep inside the Australian half. Comes back to Studden. She has to prop. She puts a chip kick over the top. Taufu played the ball, so she's offside. She was the main one chasing. And now Studden from that shallow kick makes the tackle. The Kiwis reload here. 5 metres inside the Jillaroos half. Well, you think they have to score off this set.
Isay will be she'll be the go-to player here. Wherever she is, that's where the ball will be.
Yeah, you could see the Kiwis walking back on side then, looking pretty tired and bunched in the middle. So that might be good for the Jillaroos if they can hold on.
Here's Fiso. Away now to Wiley. She bumps away. Back to the skipper. In centre field, trying to identify a tired Aussie defender. Well, she's found the wrong person there in Ruan Sims. 15 out. Centre of the field. They come to the left-hand side. Cook. Hale. Away to Molia Fraser. The call of held came before she gave the pass away, so the referee
Give her the ball.
will instruct her to play the ball on the last. Not a great pass there to Georgia Hale. She kicks it along the ground. Was this played at? Not played at, says the referee. Still the last. Away to Nora Maka. She tries to break free. The Jillaroos come from everywhere, and you would think that might be enough to see them home.
How often we've seen that tonight, the Jillaroos tackling the Ferns right near their try line, last tackle. They just keep turning up. As I said, when the siren goes, they won't be talking about the points they scored, they'll be talking about the points they saved.
What's been so incredible about the Jillaroos too, they're so humble and inspired by the old Jillaroos who've gone before them, and if you're at their jersey presentation, they've had lots of unfortunate, unpredictable injuries and changes to the team, from Steph Hancock to Kezi Apps to Sammy Bremner not being there. And girls have just stood up and turned up tonight and really turned up for each other. And you can see that in the scoreline and the defensive effort.
So this impressive young number 6, Zahara Tamara, with a great kick downfield to find the line. Well, they found one here, haven't they, Darren, in the 19-year-old from the Gold Coast?
Yeah, she's got a lot of potential there, and she's played well tonight in her first game. That was a fantastic kick. On the wrong side, right foot. It was behind the 40. And, yeah, struck the ball well. And whether it's the kicking game, the passing game, or the running game, she's got it all.
Karen Murphy spent considerable time with all the halves over the past couple of weeks, but since they've been in camp, just to try and help them make decisions at the right time. And you can see that now, the confidence, and you can see in her body language she seems a bit more relaxed, and so she should. It's been a fantastic debut.
Simone Smith, she's coming back on. She's only a minute and a half left, but she's also been very impressive tonight.
A rookie number 7 and a rookie number 6 for the Jillaroos tonight, but they've really relished the international stage.
Carry on, carry on.
One-handed offload from Hale. It found Molia Fraser. Fourth tackle. New Zealand trying to keep it alive. There's Molia Fraser again, and Smith hangs on around the bootlaces. Ballinger comes in, along with Tamara, to finish off that play. The last tackle now. Hale kicks, tries to find the in goal. And Karina Brown is happy to go to ground with it. The Jillaroos can play out a set of 6 here, and they'll be jubilant. They've really dominated this fixture from the outset.
Be a nice little psychological advantage going into the World Cup. Just defensively, defence is about attitude, and their attitude's been spot on tonight.
Here's Ali Brigginshaw, one of the best performers on the park. Came off the bench, has played big minutes since she was thrown into the game midway through the first half. There's Studden, she'll kick it over the sideline, and that puts an exclamation point on a great performance by the Australian Jillaroos. They've prevailed here in the latest renewal of this wonderful rivalry. The two star international teams, Australia and New Zealand. But the Jillaroos, they've done it well, 16 points to 4.
What a fantastic game.
Well, it may have been fantastic if you're an Australian supporter, but not so fantastic if you're a Kiwi Ferns supporter. But it's the old adage, you know, defence wins games, and tonight the Jillaroos defence 5-star.
Yeah, you can tell they'd done their homework there. Their defence was a lot stronger than I thought they'd be. They were coming at the girls, and the girls didn't. The Kiwi Ferns actually didn't know what was happening to start off with, and I just don't think our girls had it. They didn't adapt.
Yeah, look, it's a very good side. You look at the speed that they had in the nines. Now defensively very sound, and they're a big side. Now I think we're going to struggle physicality-wise. They were a lot better than us. So, even though we finished that game strong, some worrying signs.
Yeah, and there's a World Cup to come, and they probably will only get better, the Jillaroos. So Tony Benson has got some thinking to do before that. Stick around, there's more to come, as we will start our build-up shortly for the main game. That's right, that was the entree. The main course is coming up. Kangaroos, Kiwis, and ANZAC test, the last one. Stay with us. For the final score, the Jillaroos get the first bite out of the Trans-Tasman Showdown tonight. Now double header, outplaying the Kiwi Ferns and outplaying them well. Now the disappointing thing, Monty, with the Kiwi Ferns was in it. I know you said they sort of got better at the end, but it's almost like they had no clue on attack. They got caught wide every time, and the defence of the Jillaroos just said, yeah, we got you.
Look, very individual to start the game. Of course, the contact area, the collision area is what you want to dominate, because if you get that area on song and you get that go forward, then you can play off the back of that. That never happened earlier, and they looked very one out. They didn't really get to see how they played that football together and get the passes till very late in the piece.
We all understand, Tash, that preparation is short, but we've seen them play better than that.
Yeah, we have seen them play better, but in this game here, we've got to remember that these girls don't get paid. They're mums, they've got other things going on and stuff like that.
Too, yeah.
Super mums, all right, and they're also trying to come together and do the best while they're representing for New Zealand. So I noticed in the first half there, when they first came out, they were kind of getting used to playing with each other under this kind of pressure.
I feel like you just burned me.
I think she did.
I think she's burned me.
But the fitness levels, obviously the reason why they maybe got better and stronger in that game as it went on is because there's a lot of talk about fitness and how they've been preparing for this game fitness-wise. Maybe that was what came to the fore.
Just the one try in the second half. It was a Kunst, the second rower for the Jillaroos. Pretty handy try too. Caught a nice ball too, and just been. Thanks, I'll take that.
Just one-on-one strength here from Kunst going over Crystal Tamarua there.
Yeah, it was a nice isolation play. You know, we had the defender going across laterally, and she didn't have her feet, and then Kunst just came over the top. Very strong indeed.
Who stood out for you for the Jillaroos? Is anyone one player in particular?
Look, there's a few, really. I mean, obviously, Isabel Kelly and what she did on the wing to score that first try, and then what she did throughout the match. You know, she had a couple of drop balls in position, but they were pretty strong. But I think the physicality for me was something that I didn't expect from the Jillaroos.
Yeah, I'm the same as well. I was surprised by how strong they were. They'd done their homework and they knew which players in the Kiwi Ferns to target. But a standout player in the Jillaroos for me was Zahara Tamara on debut. She controlled the game quite well, and she ran it when she saw the holes there, which is something that I think sometimes the halves get into just passing, like setting people up and passing. But when she saw the gaps there, she went for it, which was cool.
You would suggest that without Georgia Hale, their attack would have just been nowhere. You feel sorry for her because there are times you could see her trying to make something happen.
Yeah, I think she was trying later on in the piece, and the reason why she had a bit more luck later on in the piece is because everyone was trying to compliment her. Serena Fiso started playing how we've seen her play over a number of years. She was chiming into the line. There was a lot more collectively as a group playing together, and that's a lot harder to defend rather than just one-out plays like they were doing early on in the piece.
Oh, well, not the perfect start to the weekend, but most importantly, Tash is going to watch 6 games of footy tomorrow. So where does it start?
Under 8s for Maris in the morning, then we've got the 15s for Maris, then we've got Fox for Maris, and then we've got the 2 big games in the evening.
Oh, is there 5? There's 3, aren't there? There's 5, 3.
3. I think Cook Islands are playing as well.
Yeah, okay, there's 3. So you're watching 6. So you are just basically immersing yourself in the great game tomorrow.
It's the only way on the weekend.
Do you still play? You played for Akarana for a while. Do you still want to get out there and do it again?
I still play for Maris, so we have Sunday games, but I'm not playing this week because I didn't go to training tonight because I'm here.
Oh.
Yeah, and you know what happens if you don't go to training. Hey, thanks. Have a great day tomorrow. Best of luck for the kids and hubby as well.